Hello, welcome to Portworx demo. My name is Jeff Chen. Today, we will talk about how easy it is to deploy multi-node, highly available MySQL cluster on AWS EKS using Portworx Data Services or PDS. So let's look at this demo environment. PDS is the Kubernetes Database as a Service platform which has numbers of predefined database container applications for you. With a few clicks of buttons, you can easily deploy these applications to your EKS cluster. The database applications are automatically configured and protected by Portworx. When you register your EKS cluster to PDS, the PDS agent is deployed on your cluster. This enables PDS agent to talk to PDS using reverse proxy, so no firewall changes on your end. Now PDS can deploy any database applications on your EKS cluster. Today, we will deploy highly available 3 nodes MySQL cluster, and to test this, we will deploy one of the popular MySQL clients called phpMyAdmin. So let's dive in. This page shows up once you log into PDS console. You will see a list of applications ready for you to deploy to your Kubernetes cluster. So let's deploy MySQL application. Let's give this deployment a name. Let's call it PDS MySQL. For the target cluster, we'll select PDS demo EKS cluster. And for the namespace, we'll use demo NS. The DevOps admin can add namespaces for you beforehand. Let's keep this provision internal load balancer checked. For application configuration, we'll keep a default configuration for this demo. So admin can define application configurations by adding necessary environment variable like this into the configurations. For size and resource settings, there are pre-configured t-shirt size for you to select. So we will select small configuration for this demo. And as we mentioned before, we will deploy 3 nodes cluster. For storage options, let's keep this default with replication factor of 2. For backup, we have hourly and daily backup available, but for this demo, we will choose no backup. So let's deploy. So this initiates MySQL instance deployment to the demo namespace on the EKS cluster. The logs show up in this screen so you can monitor the progress without going to the terminal. You can also view the events history as well. Okay, all the nodes are deployed successfully and they are ready to be used. When you click on this connection button, it shows all the information needed to connect to this MySQL cluster. Okay, let's go to the terminal and double check the application deployment. Yes, we see the 3 nodes. MySQL clusters all up and running. And let's deploy MySQL client called PHP MyAdmin. Okay, let's open the YAML file. Scroll down. And for the PMA host field, we will need to enter the cluster information. So let's go back to the connection information, copy the service name, and paste it here. Let's save this YAML file, and we are ready to deploy. Now let's check if the PHP MyAdmin is up. So we can get the service and get the URL link for PHP MyAdmin web interface. Let's paste it into the new tab. And there you go. So for the username, it's a PDS, and the password. Let's go back and copy the password. Okay, now we are logged in. So we are successfully connected to our MySQL cluster. Okay, now let's create a sample data. So create a new database called employee, and create new table called employee as well. Okay, so in the table, the first field is ID, employee ID. Let's make this as a primary key, and we'll add first name. Let's set this as a 30 character long. Last name, the 30 character max as well. Let's save this. Okay, new table is created. Let's insert some information. Let's insert a dummy employee. John Smith, employee number 1. Okay, one row inserted. Let's insert another one. Employee number 2, Tom Cruise. Okay, succeeded as well. Let's go back to the terminal and double check these information we just added is also shows up in the database inside of the pod. And we're gonna log into the SQL pods number 0. And use MySQL SH PDS at localhost. And again, we need a password to log in. Let's copy that. Okay. Change to SQL shell. Show databases. Use employee database. And we'll try to see everything in the employee table. Select star from employee. Now we see John Smith and Tom Cruise are in the database. Okay, let's exit this out and try to log in to another pod. Pod number 2. We want to double check if data is being replicated. So same process, log in with the password. Use employee database and select everything from employee table. Yes, so all the data is being replicated among the MySQL cluster. So this shows how easy it is to deploy MySQL cluster on your Kubernetes cluster using PDS. Thank you for watching.